she's passionate about telling stories of amazing women who are rocking the world and empowering women to live, love, and thrive. Here's your host, Caron Ng.
Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to Live, Love, Thrive Women's Empowerment Hour, brought to you by 360karma.com. We're so happy you joined us today. And as always, we have on an amazing women. Do I have the best job in the world or what? So today we have on Caron Ng, or Caron Ng. It's hard for me to say, so I kind of cheat and say Caron Ng.
You actually did good.
And she has an amazing family-run business that she heads up, and we're going to be talking about that today, what it's like for a woman to run a huge family-owned business and what that entails. Please give a warm welcome to Caron. Hi, Caron. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you bet. You bet. And gosh, your family history is so amazing. I want to talk about this journey of where your family came from, starting in China, eventually Hong Kong, and building up this multi-generational successful business that you now head up and you've been running this business or working in this business for 20 years. But I will say it takes a woman to bring a big company like that into the 21st century, and we're going to talk about how you've done that, how you've brought it into the digital age, how you've made it, relevant and digital, and all of those things. So it's an amazing journey that you've had, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm really honored to be that.
So tell me at first about your family. What part of China were they originally from?
So originally my family is from southern China, from a city called Guangzhou, where both my maternal and paternal families are.
And your story is that your family owned businesses way back when, many generations.
Yep.
But sadly, they were killed because they had these businesses and run out of China.
Right.
And your parents escaped this horrible situation, but not without losing their parents and their siblings.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about when that was and what were the circumstances.
So it was during the Cultural Revolutions where my paternal and maternal grandparents' side of the family, most of them were executed, sadly. Luckily my grandparents were survived because they were the youngest, the most insignificant. On my paternal side, they actually dressed up my grandfather as a girl. So, so he survived that.
To smuggle him out.
Smuggle him out. And because he survived, that's why I'm here.
Yes.
I'm the 26th generation of the Ng family.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you guys are like a dynasty.
I know.
Yeah.
So we used to be landlord, and we owned rice and banks in southern China, and apparently that is a big crime under the communist rule during that time. So we lost everything.
So in other words, they were running these businesses. Then the country became communist and said, you can't own any of these businesses, and just killed the owners.
They killed the owners.
Took over the businesses.
Yes, and they confiscated all the business. My grandfather was imprisoned on my maternal side, and my grandfather was dressed up like a girl and smuggled out to Hong Kong. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. What a story.
Yeah.
And so I know both your grandmothers, we talked about this, were very strong women.
Yes.
And really kind of pulled it all together and got everybody to Hong Kong.
Right.
So you got to Hong Kong, you guys started all over, started building up businesses again, and then there was word of China taking over
So it was
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of history for everybody. No, I'm learning myself.
Yeah.
And so then you had to leave Hong Kong.
Right.
And start over again. What a resilient family.
I know.
Yeah. And that took you all to America.
Right.
And your two grandmothers, they decided to first start out in, was it Maryland?
My grandmother started in Maryland, yes. Baltimore.
Yes. And what did you all do when you arrived here? Did anybody speak English?
So a little side detour, my grandparents, both sides agreed that we needed to learn English. So when I was 12, they shipped me to London.
Oh, wow.
So I was there for 7 years until college age. Then I moved here to Los Angeles. But before I moved here, my grandparents already settled in Baltimore because that's where my uncle was.
Oh.
And they don't speak one word of English, but they wanted to move the whole family because the British and China decided they have to take over Hong Kong. China needs to take over Hong Kong in 1997, and that's basically freaked out the whole family. So my grandparents, without speaking any English, they just said, we have to move.
And what made them pick Baltimore?
Because that's where my uncle is.
Oh, right. And
Yeah.
what made your uncle pick Baltimore?
Because he was working for the defense company, and they have the headquarters there.
Okay. All right. So job related. Just.
Yes.
And now, how did you all migrate to Los Angeles?
Because my grandmother cannot stand the snow.
Once again, it was your grandmother at the forefront
Yes.
of this,
Yes.
big
She's
move.
not having it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. And this is your mom's mom or your
Yes.
dad's mom? Your mom's
My mom's
mom.
mom.
And your paternal grandmother was also a strong woman, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in order to survive the Cultural Revolutions and all that turmoil, she was a smuggler of wine and salt and oil from China to Hong Kong.
Oh.
So when she eventually went to Hong Kong, by accident she was knocked out by a truck that went over on the pavement. So I lost her at an early age.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
So the other grandmother came here.
Yes.
And was she instrumental in this business that you're in today?
Yes.
The new set lock
Yes.
business? Uh-huh.
Yeah. She encouraged my mom because my mom used to be a nurse, but my grandmother forces everyone to move to Los Angeles for a better life, for the American dream. And my mom is no exception. So kicking and screaming, she dragged my mom from Hong Kong to here. So my mom started the New Set brand because she didn't want to be just private labeling for other people.
So your mom started the new set
Yes.
brand? Not your dad?
No.
Oh my God, I love the story even more. Oh wow, I thought they kind of did it together. I didn't know your mom was the ringleader.
Yeah.
This is
Because my
amazing.
dad was wanting to
You come
just
from good stock.
Yeah, my dad wants to continue to manufacturing for other brand, but my mom is like, nope, we need to have our own identity. So we set
Yeah.
up the New Set brand. So New Set is a brand that established by my mom.
That is so
So-
cool. You know, it's the very premise of what we're talking about with what we do with She Angels, which is our program, our original series that you're involved with.
Yes. So
As an
excited.
investor, panelist, and it is about getting behind funding and mentoring more female entrepreneurs because there are so many women out there that have such great ideas that are not being put into play.
Right.
Because they don't have the funding or the mentorship. We get less than 5% of the venture capital funding, which is
Right.
just crazy. So with She Angels, we're trying to educate people about that and change that.
Yes.
And it's time that we change this in our culture because when women aren't at the helm or aren't allowed to start the businesses that they have great ideas for, well, then the whole world suffers.
Exactly.
By those ideas not being implemented
Right.
into making the world a better place in whatever way it is, technologically or science advancements or whatever. So I'm super excited that, we're working in this effort together.
Yes.
Especially knowing your background and that your mom started that business. That's really great. So I know you didn't think that you were going to end up in this family business.
That's
like
right.
I think a lot of people listening who maybe are in a family business and maybe they didn't have that intention. So you went off to Berkeley, right?
Yes.
And got your degree, and you thought you were going to be helping translate for
UN.
for immigrants or
Yeah, for UN.
for the UN.
Yes.
Right. But instead, your mother and grandmother had a different plan, and you came over and you started 20 years ago, right? Working for New Set Locks. That is
Right.
the company, New Set Locks. And you worked your way up. I mean, you started on the assembly line, right?
Yes.
That couldn't have been too fun.
It was actually kind of fun.
Was it?
Because you get to
have
hang
to
out.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have
Yeah.
to think too much, and you just make sure that you did everything according to the SOP, and and I make friends, and my friends are awesome.
So you did the assembly line, customer service, shipping, everything.
Yeah.
Which had to be invaluable to now running the company
Right.
that you've done all the jobs. Like, you see that Undercover Boss show
Yes.
sometimes, and those bosses don't know anything about what
Right.
their employees do. So it's got to be a huge advantage
Yes.
that you've done all that.
Yeah. My mom is really good on the boot camps.
Yeah. And I bet it makes you closer to your employees. Like, hey, I've been there, done that. I've been in your shoes. I can only imagine that they respect that, and that you have more of a sensitivity to them.
Yes.
Having been there.
Yep.
Yeah. So 20 years in that time to grow a business, a family business like you have, and the world changes. And so where you were doing these traditional locks for certain industries, there came a time where you guys had to grow. And so many companies, they go out of business because they don't know how to grow with the times.
Right.
And so you've been very instrumental in seeking out programs that we're going to talk about that could be good for our listeners who might be women business owners.
Yes.
Programs that have helped you to step into the digital age and learn how to grow your business and how to make it evolve. And so some of those things that you've done, I know you belong to WBE, which is, what does that stand for?
Women Business Enterprise Council.
So WBEC,
Yes.
Women Business Enterprise Council. So people out there maybe want to look that up, WBEC. And they certify women as women-owned businesses,
Right.
because there's many companies out there that have a certain quota,
Right.
and they have to do a certain amount of business with a women-owned business, but it has to be that it's a certified business.
Right.
And so that's one of the things that you did to help grow your business.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, through I call it the sisterhood, and also the friendship and the educational opportunity from WeBank, and also the local chapter called the WeBank West, that educate me, provided the platform for me to grow my business, because sometimes you have to see in order to grow, because you
Yes.
don't know, and you need to surround yourself with great people.
Yes.
And in this organization, there's like wonderful people, great mentors. You pull over anyone, just ask questions, they will help you.
Yeah.
And it's how I grow my business in all the major retail channels.
Anyone that's out there wanting to start a business or who has started a business knows that there are so many moving parts, it's impossible to do it all yourself.
Right.
So having a network like that is absolutely invaluable. I think everyone should find a group of supportive women, no matter which one it is. There's
Yes.
quite a few out there that resonates with them, that
Right.
they find their people, for resources, contacts, even being able to say, hey, I have this issue. What did you do about that issue?
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a great group to belong to.
Yes.
And every woman out there that wants to grow their business to a significant degree should probably look into WBEC.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I think one more thing I want to add on to it is you need your cheerleaders, you need your peeps, and also you need honest friends that say, hey, you just did something really stupid.
Yeah.
Don't do that again.
Yeah.
You know, I found those friendships at WeBank.
That's
so
great.
I'm
We
really,
hate that part, though.
I know. Then we go and have a tub of ice cream and have a drink.
Right.
Yeah,
but they always say, what is it? There's no failures. There's only learning experiences, right?
I know.
Or I always love the saying, it's not how many times do you fall down, it's how many times you get up.
Exactly.
Isn't that the truth?
Yep.
Another organization that you applied to and have gotten a lot of significant help from is ICCC. What does that stand for?
ICCC is Inner City Capital Group, which is also a free educational opportunity that train you how to build your deck, to see bankers, to seek loans, and actually every year they have an annual summit in November in Boston, where you actually meet investors. So you
Wow.
get a chance to pitch, and during that process you have a coach also for free, and most of them are from significant partner from Boston Counseling. That's where consulting firm. That's where my coach was, and it's invaluable. Those friendship.
Yeah.
Now calling him is free. It's pretty
Well,
cool.
you know what? One of the things I've been most impressed with you is that you have sought out all these amazing programs out there
Yes.
that exist, and I think a lot of women don't know they exist.
Exactly.
And then they really need to take the time to apply to them,
Right.
and get this free training and these free connections.
Right.
So it's been invaluable to you to learn how to pitch an investor,
Right.
and then you were able to get some financing.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful.
So
And that's
I-
helped grow your business.
It helped my
I read
growth.
in the bio from them that you grew your business in 1 year 46%.
Yes, I did.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
That is
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
So you have this traditional lock company, and what have you done? What kind of products have you all brought to market to make it a more today business?
So through Goldman Sachs, 10,000 Small Business, which is also another free program.
Another one.
Yes.
Yep.
I learned how to put together a business plan because my background is English literature.
Right.
So I have no idea about business.
And I always say entrepreneurs usually have like this really great idea, but they don't know all of those things, like how to
Exactly.
put together a business plan,
Exactly.
how to do a pitch deck to investors,
Right.
you know, and all these other various things. So Goldman Sachs has a program where they want to train 10,000 entrepreneurs,
right.
and people can apply to that as well.
Exactly.
And that will teach them how to create a business plan.
How to create a business plan. Basically, I call it because I like to drive, so basically where the rubber hits the road.
Uh-huh.
You know, all the accounting, how to do your culture, how to do mission and vision for your company,
Yes.
how to translate that message to your team and also your customers.
Yeah.
All that is for free. And
So after doing that, you created some new products. I know
Exactly.
some digital products,
Exactly.
like isn't one of them like a? Forgive me if this is wrong, but like an app that you can use to like unlock a door, like if
Right.
you're a realtor.
yes.
I
So
thought so. Yeah. Okay.
You're very good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Actually, so a year ago, I have a spin-off because I want to have more say in this digital development. So I started a brand called Icon. Icon is actually a patented security technology that using Wi-Fi, and this is the only Wi-Fi lock in the world actually, that independently from any other bridges and connections. So it allowed the user to choose a picture from the smartphone as a key to unlock the security.
Wow.
There's no biometric information. You don't have to remember a code. You just have to remember a picture.
Wow.
And say if you lose that picture, it can be disconnect, you know, right away.
Uh-huh.
There's no downtime,
Yeah.
and there's no running costs like, you know,
Yeah.
a card, key fob, keys. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, we're not going anywhere without the smartphone, right?
Wow.
So that is one way, and I
That's
truly
amazing.
believe it because I think the lock industry is in the Flintstone age for the longest time. I mean,
Right.
we still use keys. These are
Right.
like 100 years old stuff.
Right.
But how
It's
do
so
we
funny
move?
you're saying this because we were opening our door yesterday and our key was bent, and I was like, "How did this happen?" But with this, you don't have to
Yes.
worry about it.
Yeah.
How did you create a product like that? You saw a need for it. Do you have like people on your team that are inventors, or did
Yes.
you hire independent consultants, or?
No, it's on my team. I'm really blessed. I have a really awesome team, and we've been on this track for a little over 10 years.
Wow.
So there's a lot of mistakes that we made, and we learned, and we'll hear from our customers what is their need. So a couple of things. We don't have an app because I personally hate apps because every time even you want to get a coffee, you need to update your app. Like I
Right,
don't want
right.
to update my app.
Right. Right.
And I have an open-end API, so I can tap into most of the commercial security system right now, so they don't have to make a huge conversion. So all this is from my R&D team and also my customer service team. We did a lot of whiteboarding. We did a lot of good idea, bad ideas, stupid ideas, and we come to the final. We're still improving.
Yeah, that's cool. So you're always innovating, and that must be an exciting part of the business.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next? Can you tell us anything that's on the horizon, or is that top secret, or?
The part that I can tell you, which is not the top secrets because we already panned that, is we have a cloud system.
Oh.
Yes, and it's called Ocular. So it enabled all of our customer any given time around the world to monitor, and also actually we're starting it now. Then monitor the logs, the activities, the access. Is
Wow.
so you
So
could,
what kind of companies do you sell that to?
so currently you can buy our products directly from us. We'll walk you through the process. You can buy our product from Home Depot, from Amazon, from Grainger, from Lowe's, from Sorrel, all these major retail places.
And is it for anything from a home to a business to?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
And I also, but on the software side, I work with a lot of startups and also car rental place like Easy Car in London.
Uh-huh.
They are a customer of us. U-Haul is another customer of us. And we have a lot of small startups that they want to use
okay,
it.
so U-Haul. I go to the U-Haul. I don't need a key.
No. So for the car rental side, you actually walk up to the car, you pull up a picture on selective location. They're trying it. And then you pull out the box. There's a box outside the car. And then you get the car key and off you go.
Oh, wow.
You don't need to talk to anybody.
You don't have to talk to anybody. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so many applications for what you're doing, like you're saying,
Yes.
from a car rental place to any type of business, really.
Yes.
I mean, it's just endless, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
But I like one of the application which we were quite unexpected is actually a mom that wrote an email to us that she loved our product because it gave her the live detailed when her kids come home. You can't lie now.
Wow.
Because you have to
Right,
use
right.
a smarphone to get
It
in.
wasn't 10, it was midnight.
Yes, it was midnight. So cool.
Good for the parents, bad for the kids.
I know, yes.
Wow, that's really cool.
Thank
That's
you.
really innovative. So, as a woman running your family business, what is your advice to other women that are running a family business? I mean, I think, isn't part of it that you kind of went kicking and screaming because you thought you wanted to do something else, but then isn't it such an honor to run a multi-generational business, and have that opportunity as a woman, which we might not have in other countries or things like that? Yeah.
I think it's both ways. There's always a perks, the privilege that we are this third generation. A lot of things has been established, but on the other flip side is there's a legacy we are carrying that other people may not. A startup entrepreneur may not have that path.
Yeah.
That is actually quite big sometimes.
It's a big responsibility.
Big responsibility to preserve that legacy. And
Right.
how do you incorporate the new ideas into this, a dinosaur?
Right, but you are doing an amazing
Thank
job
you.
of doing that.
Try
It's
to.
got to be really rewarding.
Some days.
I hear you.
I know.
Every entrepreneur says some days, because
Yes.
some days are really tough.
Yes.
But there's tears and there's certainly celebrations and joy for every business owner,
Right.
whether it's many generations or a new startup. In closing, I just want to say, I know that you're wanting to pay it forward, and that's why you're getting involved with She Angels. And you told me that your future aspiration is to help entrepreneurs. Just tell me what that looks like. What is your plan?
My plan is through my network in YWCA, Greater Los Angeles, also with WeBank, and all walks of life. Sometimes I have people come up to me and talk, and I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I think everybody has an entrepreneur spirit in them, but
Yes.
it's just sometimes you need a soundboard or need someone to encourage you. What is the option? What are the risks? We can talk about it.
Yeah.
So
So you want to take your expertise and help other entrepreneurs to pay it forward and
Right.
help them get off the ground.
Right.
I think that's a wonderful endeavor.
yes.
Yeah, it's
kinda
always
fun.
nice to pay it forward.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being on and sharing
Thank
this
you.
amazing story of your
Thank you.
family. And I wish you all the best with continuing to grow the business, and really appreciate that you want to share that not only here today on the show, but with other people that you encounter at all the different organizations you're involved in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you, and make it a great week. Hugs and happiness.